Let's look at the papers this morning and see what the headlines are. I have with me in the studio to make sense of all of this, Ife Onyebule, broadcast journalist and one of our regulars here. Ife, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you. Honorable Ife, yes. Sorry. All right, let's get into them now. Let's see. Business Day is where we start from. Business Day says, will vaccine passport for international travel hurt Nigeria? Will vaccine passport for international travel hurt Nigeria? Okay, recall that there's a consideration for a temporary passport, that will carry some of these features and all of that. That's a Business Day. Leadership newspaper, 16 states take delivery of 1.8 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine. 16 states take delivery of 1.8 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine. Lagos, Kano, Kaduna take lion's share, and the NSCIA affirms safety of vaccine. And we won't force anyone to take it. That's CAN is saying that, okay? That's all from the vaccine issue. That's leadership newspaper. National economy is next. National economy says increased productivity, capital inflows can leapfrog Nigeria to double-digit growth. Okay, increased productivity, capital inflows can leapfrog Nigeria to double-digit growth. That's the national economy. News Direct is next. And it says EFCC uncovers 70 billion naira oil subsidy fraud. EFCC uncovers 70 billion naira oil subsidy fraud as Bauer testifies against Nadabu Energy in 1.4 billion naira subsidy fraud. Okay, that's the EFCC chairman getting busy there. That's News Direct. The Daily Times. Daily Times is next, and it says ownership of £4.2 million seized by UK from Ibori ignites more controversy. Okay, who owns the money? Who should they be returned to? Ownership of £4.2 million seized by UK from Ibori ignites more controversy. That's a Daily Times. All right, we'll certainly take a look at that on the show as we get along. Now, Blueprint newspaper is next. Blueprint says for minimum wage, Labour storms National Assembly, threatens country's lockdown. On minimum wage, Labour storms National Assembly and threatens country's lockdown. Insists wage must remain on exclusive list. A bill won't see light of the day. Lawmakers are saying this. The government won't negotiate with street dancers. PGF boss is saying that. Progressive Governors Forum DG made that statement yesterday. All right, moving on to Daily Trust. Daily Trust says NLC to National Assembly. Withdraw minimum wage bill or face nationwide strike. Lobby to kill bill. Reps is saying this. We will not. Labour is responding to that. Protests in Abuja states as part of restructuring. Afenifere is saying it's part of restructuring. Afenifere is saying this. Let's dialogue. The ACF. All right. Now we have the Punch newspaper that says on the wage bill protest, National Assembly Labour meets Tuesday as sponsor knocks unions. Okay, that's on the Punch newspaper. The Nation newspaper is next, and it says Senate, House, we will kill bill on wage negotiation. Okay, Senate and House, we will kill bill on wage negotiation. That's the Nation newspaper. The Guardian is next now. The Guardian says Labour threatens to shut down economy over minimum wage to resist moving wage to concurrent list and vows to end lawmakers' careers. Okay, those are some riders on the headline there on the Guardian newspaper. The Vanguard is next. Bandits abduct 100 minors, killed 10 in Zamfara. Emirs are revealing this. Deploy more security men to areas affected by herdsmen attacks, banditry, Senate tells the NSA, and has some other riders there. That's the Vanguard newspaper. We have the Sun, Daily Sun is the next and the last one we're looking at right now. UK stops recruitment of Nigerian doctors and nurses. 46 other countries also. All right. UK stops recruitment of Nigerian doctors and nurses. 46 other countries also. Okay, these are some of the headlines, some of the stories making headline across the papers this morning. Some of these headlines are troubling, others are interesting depending on where you see them from. And there are some issues I'd like us to talk about. So certainly, let's breeze through some of this, especially the issue of the NLC, talking about the minimum wage. Now, the minimum wage is on the exclusive legislative list, and the move to remove it from there, Labour is saying it's meant to change Nigerians, because if, as of now, governors and states and all of that are not able to pay, when you put it
on that list,
on the concurrent list, then you've given them the license.
Not.
What do you make of all of these anyway?
I think it's best that Labour is crying out now as it is. We've always said, or people have always said, that Labour has actually become a toothless bulldog as it is. But now that they've come out to cry out to say, look, you dare not move it onto that list. But people will still wait and watch to see how far they will go with this threat. It goes beyond talking about it on the pages of newspapers. How ready are you to carry out this threat of saying that you will shut down the economy if they ever try to move it to that list? So it behoves Labour now to decide what it's going to be, to see that it does not move from where it is to that list where they want to put it on. Because when you look at it, there are still some governors or state governments that say, look, we cannot pay this or pay that. Now, when you move it there, they have the license to not pay as it is. So Labour is going to be in the eye of the storm, and everyone will watch out to see exactly how that pans
Now, when
out.
it comes to the issue of communication and proper consultation, how much of this do you see going down sometimes that lead to protests like this? If there were, if there was some form of consultation in the first place before this is even presented, and the Nigerian Union of the NLC rather, and the TUC and the others, organized labor, is carried along, do you think we will be having these issues here?
No, it's just begging the question as it is. If they had this kind of meetings that you've talked about, I'm sure these things will be discussed at those meetings and won't get to this stage where we have to read about it on the pages of newspaper. People will have to agree, yes, move it here. If you need to, cast a vote or something, you do that so you can decide whether to move it or not. But, in Nigeria, anything goes. Sometimes you even read about your suspension or your sack. You get it by text message, or people are talking about it on social media. That's where you get to hear about it. So things don't happen normally as they're supposed to happen in this country of ours. But I'm just hoping that this is not exactly going to be the case.
Okay. Now, besides that, we're hearing about the vaccines being transported to states, Lagos, Kano, and all of that. They're getting their doses. 16 states take delivery of 1.8 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines. That's on the Leadership newspaper. There is still the concern with the issue of storage in some of the states, and also access to some terrains, especially in the far north where you have security challenges, and then in the far south, if I have to put it that way, where there are issues of water, riverine areas and all of that. What concerns do you have?
But they get there when they want to.
Oh yes, exactly. For election, election materials must always get there.
Yeah. So they have to find a way to get it there. But I'm surprised we're talking about this. This is just 1.8 million you talked about. This is a country of 200 million Nigerians. Maybe I should also mention here that I was quite disappointed seeing the kind of pomp and pageantry that was exhibited when these vaccines came in. What in the world was that? We need to think about the people who truly need it. If you look at it, when you want to go to campaign, you don't tell us about the terrain, how to get there or how not to get there. You find your way to get there. Now that the vaccines are here, I'm excited about it. I just wish I would be able to get a dose with the ones that have come to Lagos.
But you have to register. Have you registered?
I haven't. I need to get on that platform.
Sometime we heard sometime the link was down, the link for registration that the National Primary Healthcare Development Authority gave out was down. But I believe they've put it up now. So one can register and get yourself vaccinated.
Register and get the jab. I would love to get the jab, because we don't know when the second batch of this will come. coming.
They said May.
But as it is, this is great. Maybe we'll have to also use this opportunity to say to people, look, don't be scared of anything. Get out there and get it. The president has taken his jab. We'll call it the presidential jab, right? The president and the vice president, they've taken their jab. So Nigerians should just get out there, because I still hear some people saying, we will not take it. My family and I will not take it. It doesn't make sense. You can talk for yourself, but don't let it spread to other people. Allow people make up their minds and do what they want to do. So this vaccines, getting to those hinterlands, is something that I'm excited about, and I hope they reach there and get it across to the people who need it.
All right. Now, one other thing I like us to talk about is not necessarily on the front line of the papers right now, but it's something that is getting a lot of comments across the country right now. Is the issue of the third force, where the National Consultative Forum, that's called the NCF, are trying to look for an alternative to the two major political parties that we have. And when it comes to the phenomenon of the third force, we've all the big mega alternative, whatever it is called, but that alternative, in the last couple of years, we've been hearing that, that rhetoric coming up very often.
This is cracking me up, because the last election, we had a group of young people. They came together and formed the pact. What happened to that pact? Till today, we don't know. They had some internal wranglings, as I heard, as it is. Now, we're talking about a third force. How formidable will this third force be? Because I say to you, a lot of Nigerians are tired of this idea of APC or PDP as it is. So what's it going to be? What will the options be for people in 2023? So the idea of a third force is fine with me, but are we going to have angels coming from heaven to converge and come up with this third force? That's the question we need to begin to ask ourselves. Won't it be the same people who would constitute this third force as it is? So it's dicey, but it's a good idea, and I'm just hoping that it's something that works.
Yeah, but in politics, timing is a very strong, pivotal phenomenon. Timing. You could do it too early, or you could do it too late, or you could do it just at the right time. Now, when it comes to timing, do you think Nigerians, the way they are ripe and ready for something that is different from the regular political parties they've known since 1999?
The simple answer will be no. You know how we are in this place, People will talk to you, go ahead, go and register, go and contest, we'll come behind you. Remember the time of Gani Fawehinmi as it is. The man contested. What happened? So that's exactly what it is. People are... As human beings, people are used to what it is they are used to. They are averse to change. And sometimes they love the people who put them in shackles. So if you ask me again that question, I will say they are not ready. When we're ready for a change, of course,
you
we'll
will
get
see
out.
it.
Yes, it will be there.
All right, Ifeonyegule, thank you, Honorable Ifeonyegule. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Really appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Thank you.